네, 안녕하세요 여러분. 워플의 이삭입니다. 이 워플에서는 워드프레스를 통해서 퍼스널 브랜딩이나 온라인 비즈니스를 어떻게 만드는지를 계속해서 설명을 드리고 있는데요. 워드프레스 홈페이지를 만들 때 워플에서 추천하고 있는 호스팅 업체 중에 하나가 케미클라우드라고 하는 업체입니다. 제가 기회가 돼서 이 케미클라우드의 관계자분과 인터뷰를 진행을 할 수 있는 그런 기회를 얻게 되었는데요. 첫 번째 영상에서부터 이제 세 번째 영상까지 쭉 시리즈물로 영상을 제작할 생각입니다. 그래서 첫 번째 영상에서는 지금 현재 여러분이 사용하고 계시는 케미클라우드 서버의 특징, 그리고 이 케미클라우드는 지금 어떤 생각을 가지고 회사를 운영하고 있으며 앞으로 한국 시장에는 어떻게 진출할 것인지 그런 것에 대한 질문을 해보았습니다. 그러면 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다. Alright, so basically some of the question write it myself, but most of the question is from my community. They genuinely curious about the Chemicloud and then came up with these questions. So
Okay,
I'm kind of excited.
that's great. I'm also excited.
Yes.
So we can start over if you want to, start like intro, say something. I don't know. We can just start the interview.
Yeah. So before we start the interview, maybe we can just do the ice breaking. Maybe can you brief introduction to the Chemicloud and yourself?
My name is Dragosh. I'm the Chief Business Development at Chemicloud. And for those that never heard of Chemicloud, we are a web hosting company which has been founded like 8 years ago in the United States. We're offering shared web hosting services, WordPress hosting services, and basically any kind of web hosting. But something that is different is that everything that we offer, it's based in cloud. This is why our name is Chemicloud. Right. I'm very happy to be here and having this interview with you, Isaac. And I'm very happy to also speak to your community and basically answer any kind of questions that you have, or maybe in the future your community is going to ask something else. Anytime you guys want to know something about Chemicloud, about the services that we're offering, I'm super happy and open to answer them all.
I'm really happy to have you here today. So can you explain your role at the Chemicloud, and then maybe just explain what your usual daily task?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm not a very big fan with these names that have like chief of business development or head of, but chief of business development, it actually means that person that it's trying to find strategies, solutions, and implement them to grow the business. Basically, this is what it means, grow. So how does a typical day looks like chief of business development at Chemicloud? Well, most of my shifts at Chemicloud are like having this kind of interviews and calls with people that are using our services, plan to use our services, promote our services. So basically, this is like 80% of the time working for Chemicloud. The other part of the shift, like 20% of everything else, it's exchanging emails with affiliates and also with suppliers, because, as a company, we also have different contracts with providers for cloud services, licensing, and so on. So from time to time, I have calls with them talking about the services they are offering to us, finding ways to improve those services, and so on. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I know it sounds super, super easy and probably, you're just doing two things, but trust me, it's very complicated at some point.
It sounds like really busy and hard. In my opinion, I think the most hardest thing in the business is dealing with the people,
Well, yes, even if it's the most complicated one, I think it's the best one, especially for me. I am that kind of person who likes to be surrounded by people, and I always try to communicate, find solutions, try to understand the other side of the screen. Sometimes as a web hosting company, we have super dedicated solutions like, this is something that we offer as default service. Most of the time, I try to understand people needs and try to find a tailored solution for them. And this is basically the things that are making us feel happy and is a validation that we're on the right track when it comes to doing business in this industry.
At least in my community, there are many people who are already happy to use Chemicloud as their hosting service.
Well, honestly speaking, I really appreciate the content that you are creating because, in the past weeks, I was taking a look over your website and also over content that you are creating for your community. And they are pretty lucky because you're offering them such valuable content. And I know it's taking so much time to do it, but trust me, guys, if you're watching this video, what this guy is doing, it's amazing. It's amazing. Do not forget to subscribe if you didn't already.
Okay. So what is the Kemiscloud's primary target market or customers? And what's the characteristics and requirements of your main target?
Well, that's a very good question. It's a complicated one as well. Honestly speaking, the primary target market for Kemiscloud, it's basically small businesses. This is how Kemiscloud has been founded. And the mission at the beginning was, okay, let's identify small businesses that do not have big amounts of money to spend on infrastructure, and let's try to create for them cloud solution, 100% stable, 100% uptime, but at a lower cost. So basically to help them start their business and start their projects. This is why, as you probably are aware already, most of our services at the beginning, they have a lower price, but on the renewal, it comes with a bigger price. And this is because we want and we understand that small businesses, when they start, they do not have big budgets, right? For us, it's natural to offer the service at a lower price at the beginning because, okay, you're just starting over, you're small, and you do not have money to pay for this, but you still need the service to be professional, right? So we're offering you this at a lower amount of money. You use the service, and at some point, if your business succeeds, we know that you love the service and you'll eventually pay more. Now, to answer the question, I think the primary target is small businesses, but with the years, we identified that that's not the main market anymore, especially for us. And this is because people identified Kemiscloud not like a company that offers only small business services. We have many agencies, we have many freelancers that rated Kemiscloud as the best company if you just want to start over. So if somebody that is looking at this video says, okay, I'm just starting over a project and I need a provider that it's super friendly and helps me to start over, I think they are in the right place because Kemiscloud at this moment focuses a lot on this kind of projects.
I just wonder, like, when I'm thinking about the strategy that the Kemiscloud is doing right now, it's kind of risky because you provide a lower price for at the beginning, and then later time you're gonna charge more, like more high tickets, right? But when it comes to the businesses, like especially for the startups, like there are so many startups, but like most of them will be like failed. Like that's a fact. I mean,
absolutely.
Sadly, but yeah. So how can you make a profit? I don't think that's not a good strategy for it for the Kemiscloud.
Yes, you said it right. If we speak about stats, probably the majority of startups are not going to take off, right? So doing this kind of strategy, offering the service at a lower price at the beginning and expect that business to take off and make money and expect them to pay us more at renewal, it's kind of a risky strategy. But now let me ask you something. If we are not doing this, how come we can sustain the next, I don't know, the next Google, the next Amazon, and so on? So at some point, even if business is most of the time all about money, but at some point you think that, okay, maybe we should do our part in this world and also offer this kind of chance to the next big project, because we're not the only ones doing this. But you know, in the industry as a whole, offering this kind of introductory pricing, especially for businesses that are just starting over, is just like nurturing and growing the next big businesses. If nobody's going to do that, how come we can sustain this industry? Because at some point, people are not going to have money to purchase hosting and start businesses. So somebody has to do it. And even if it's risky, because it is, you were 100% correct, we have to do it, because this way we just nurture the industry, and those businesses eventually will grow, pay more for hosting. Even if it's not going to happen at Keমিklauд, it's going to happen to a different company, and eventually somebody from that company is going to come to Kemiklauд, and so on. It's some kind of a balance.
Gotcha.
But on the short term, it is indeed 100% risky. This is why we have a very advanced mechanism that it's keeping an eye on all of the orders, all of the commissions, and everything. Because otherwise, after like 1 year or 2 years, as a web hosting company, you can't sustain this anymore, and you'll eventually fail. But being in the industry for more than 8 years now, it is a proof that we know how to handle this risk.
Yeah, I think the 8 years tells a lot, you know.
Yeah. Well, if you ask me, a business needs like 5 years to prove that, okay, I'm doing something good. So being for 8 years, it's already a statement for, okay, we know what we do and we're here to stay. So if somebody else needs a bit more, proof for trusting our services, knowing that we are in the industry for 8 years now, I think it's pretty good, right?
Yes. And I bet there are many people who will appreciate the Kemiklauд services.
We're proud to say that most of our customers are writing reviews about us on websites like, Trustpilot, Google Reviews, G2, those kind of websites. There is nothing you can do. They just post reviews. It's out of your control. And we're proud to say that most of our customers are just writing reviews about us on those kind of websites, and they're super happy. We rarely get any kind of negative reviews. And this is only because we really do our best all the time. No difference, no matter the package, no matter how much money they pay us, we're always doing our best to make sure we find the best solution for every customer.
That's kind of connected to the next question. Why is Kemiklauд not well known in Korea yet? And are there any special plans to target the Korean markets?
Well, that's a very good question. And the short answer, just like a joke, Kemiklauд is not well known in Korea yet, just because we didn't found Isaac. But now we found. Okay, well, I don't know why Kemiklauд is not well known in Korea yet. But I'm 100% there are many other countries where Kemiklauд is not yet well known, right? When you're selling services all around the globe, it's very complicated to be well known everywhere. Even if this world doesn't look so big, in reality it is, And also do not forget about competition, because Kemiklauд it's not the only web hosting company in this world. However, for the past 12 months now, we're creating strategies and awareness strategies to make sure we grow awareness in different countries, and Korea is one of them. And we found out that in Korea, most of the people tend to purchase web hosting if the server is in their country. And probably you're going to ask about this, and I'm already saying it. Yes, we plan to introduce hosting in Korea.
Nice.
Yes, this is going to happen on the second half of this year, so in just a couple of months. We're going to do this because we've seen a big interest in the services in Korea, so this is why we're going to introduce that. Well, now back to the first part of the question. Why we're not well known there? There is no reason. It just didn't happen, right? But as we grow, pretty much Kemiklauд is going to be well known in South Korea as well. We also think that with this launch, we're going to empower people that are recommending our services, offering them some kind of giveaways, so you can promote our services there in your language, maybe, and so on. So yes, we have some strategies, and we're going to bring servers in South Korea.
Nice. I mean, it's really happy to hear that, that you're gonna have the servers in Korea, and I bet so many people want that, and they already asked the question in the interviews. Questions.
Just one question for you. Maybe you already know this. Do you think there is any specific reason why people from South Korea want web hosting in South Korea? Why is this so important?
I think it's based on the logic that where the server is close to the main targets of the blog or website, the speed of the website will be more faster.
Okay, and this means that the majority of their traffic is going to be from South Korea, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, well, if this is the main reason, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, pretty much the latency between the visitor from South Korea to a server in South Korea is going to be better compared to visitors from South Korea and servers in the United States. However, if you're asking me from a technical standpoint, that difference is like 0.2 of a second. So basically, it's going to be non-existent from a visitor standpoint. However, if you're using tools to see exactly the speed, pretty much it's going to be a huge difference for people that are interested in that. So I'm happy to hear that this is one of the main reasons. And I'm also happy to say that in the next few months, we're going to have servers there. So people that are interested on getting the best latency for South Korea, they are going to have a solution.
Many people in Korea who like interested in the website hosting, main contents of their blog will be like Korean. So naturally, like the main target of that blog will be living in Korea. And then there are many website hosting in Korea already whose server is in Korea. So many people just think, oh, I'm going to pay some amount of money for the hosting, but this service is in Korea, and this hosting has a server in other country. So like they just debating, you know, and but like my marketing strategy is that even if you choose this one, like you're gonna have the more faster website.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And honestly speaking, we're making this decision because we've heard from people, not only from South Korea, but from many other countries where Kemiklaude is not well known. We've heard from people saying, okay, I might try your services, but only if you are going to have servers in my country, because this is very important for me. So I think that this was the main reason why we decided to go ahead with South Korea. We also planned a different other regions launched by the end of this year, but this is going to be a surprise for other people expecting those locations.
Good to hear that. Let's do the next question.
Sure.
This question is related to the server infrastructure. Can you explain some detailed information about server specification?
Sure. Well, the infrastructure that we're using at Kemiklaude, it's not a secret because everything is fully transparent, and we write about this on our website at kemiklaude.com. But in a nutshell, all of our services, especially the WordPress hosting, shared hosting, reseller hosting, they are running on 100% cloud machines, which means they are fully redundant. What exactly this means? Well, just in case one of the machines from the chain it's down, the other ones are going to take visitors and still serve the website. This is speaking about the machines. Now, in terms of operating systems, we're using Cloud Linux. Cloud Linux, it's a very, very, very important technology in the market, and at this moment is the only one. This Cloud Linux, it's basically a company that took Linux, which is free, and made that commercial. So basically, you have to pay a license to have that operating system. But why is that operating system so important? It is just because with Cloud Linux, you have the ability to separate all of the customers, offer them semi-dedicated resources. What this means, let's imagine that we have a machine with traditional Linux, right? And that machine have 10 CPUs and 10 gigs of RAM, right? We put on that machine, let's say 10 customers with 10 websites. Only if one of those customers are going to receive any kind of attacks or traffic spikes, they are just going to use all of the CPUs and all of the RAM, all of the memory. And the other 9 customers are going to suffer because of that. Their website is not going to work anymore. Well, this is what happened with traditional Linux. However, Cloud Linux, you can, every of those customers, cap them to 1 CPU and 1 gigs of RAM, just as an example. And no matter the traffic that they are getting, If the traffic is too much and they need more resources, their website is going to stop or load very slow, and they are going to see in cPanel that they reach the resources, but the rest of the customers are not going to get affected at all.
Nice.
So, exactly, yeah. So this is why people say, okay, I'm paying for this package, which comes with 3 CPUs and 3 gigs of RAM or whatever, but they know they are going to have access to that, and they are not going to be affected by any other noisy neighbor on that server.
Nice. I mean, I didn't know that, like about the Cloud Linux, but yeah, that's really good.
Exactly. This is a very interesting technology. It's very complicated to explain to people that do not have technical skills. But this is why I'm so excited now that I have this opportunity to talk with you. And this way your audience and your community will understand what Cloud Linux is and that Kemakloud uses Cloud Linux.
Nice.
Okay, so this is one of the features that comes with Cloud Linux. The second one that comes with Cloud Linux as well, it's account isolation. This means that every account has its own virtual container. And this means that no matter if one of our clients is getting hacked, nobody else is affected. So once again, it's security. On traditional Linux, if one account is hacked, that hacker eventually can go from one account to the other and have access, complete access to all the other users. But with Cloud Linux, this is impossible.
Nice. Okay, so now I understand why you said that the semi-dedicated resources for the per customer.
Exactly. So these are the most important features that come with Cloud Linux in terms of operating system. Now, continuing with the infrastructure, we're using Lightspeed, which is the fastest web server in the industry. We're using Immunified 360, which is also the most advanced firewall and malware cleaner in the industry, and a couple of other in-house technologies which are dedicated to monitor every account and make sure we proactively take action to make sure every client website loads correctly, fast, and so on. Even if everything I said sounds awesome, probably like 70% of the industry, it's using exactly the same stack. So I want to be honest, I'm not saying that Kemakloud is just reinventing the wheel, because that's not true. But maybe people that watching this video are going to say, okay, I'm going to give Kemakloud a chance just because they are so transparent and they explained infrastructure pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, in my point of view, there are many options that choose as a hosting company. I think the Kemakloud helpfully choose the best of the options for each category. That's what my impression to the Kemakloud. So
thank you so much.
I really like that server.